If you think your morning commute is bad, try waking up in ancient Rome with no money, no Latin, and no idea where the toilets are. Because ancient Rome sounds glamorous right up until you remember that most of it was not marble statues and dramatic speeches. For most people, Rome was crowded, noisy, smoky, dirty, and full of people who were all trying very hard not to die poor. And now you were there. No phone, no translator, no map, no antibiotics. Excellent start. Let us say you arrive in imperial Rome, roughly the 2nd century AD, because if we are suffering, we might as well suffer during the city's peak. Your first challenge is simple. Do not immediately look like the weakest, strangest, most robbable person in the empire. Your second challenge is the smell. Rome had bakeries, spices, and fresh food. Rome also had animals, drains, smoke, sweat, and things we do not need to identify more closely. Ancient cities were loud too. Wheels on stone, vendors shouting, dogs barking, donkeys arguing with reality. You might think, fine, I will just get breakfast and calm down. Bold of you to assume breakfast is simple in a city where you have no money and probably cannot ask for bread without sounding haunted? Latin might help, but normal conversational Latin is not exactly something most people keep ready for emergencies. Also, breakfast for many Romans was not a giant modern brunch. It was often small and practical. Bread, maybe olives, maybe leftovers, maybe a quick cup of diluted wine. And yes, the wine was often mixed with water, because drinking only wine all day is a fast way to turn history into an ambulance report. If you somehow get food, congratulations. You have survived breakfast. You are now ready for Rome's next gift. Traffic. Ancient Rome was full of movement. Pedestrians, litters, animals, workers carrying things, and wheeled vehicles at certain times. It was not peaceful. Crossing a busy Roman street would feel less like walking and more like negotiating with physics, animals, and men who have somewhere very important to be for no clear reason. Then there were the stepping stones. Some Roman streets had raised stones to help people cross above mud and waste, which is clever, unless you fall between them and become a historical warning. At some point you will need a toilet, because time passes, fear continues, and the human body does not care that you are in a famous empire. Public latrines existed, which sounds civilized until you remember that privacy was not really the point. You did not get your own little room. You got a communal bench with holes, conversations, and a deeply unmodern relationship with personal boundaries. And then there was the sponge on a stick. Shared, rinsed, reused. History is amazing. Could you survive this part? Technically, yes. Emotionally, you may never return from it. Now let us discuss clothing, because your modern outfit is not helping. In Rome, what you wore signaled status, identity, and whether people should take you seriously. A toga, by the way, was not normal daily wear for everyone. It was bulky, formal, and about as practical as being wrapped in a bedsheet by bureaucracy. Most people wore simple tunics, which means if you want to blend in, your best survival strategy is stealing absolutely none of this information and just not looking expensive. But even if you blend in visually, you still have no social network, no local contacts, and no one to explain why you are staring at everything like a tourist who fell out of time. And that matters, because in the ancient world, survival was not just about skills. It was also about who knew you, who trusted you, and who would help you before sunset. Speaking of sunset, you will eventually need somewhere to stay. And this is where ancient Rome stops feeling historical and starts feeling like a housing problem. Many ordinary Romans lived in apartment blocks called insulae. The lower floors were better. The upper floors were cheaper, riskier, and closer to meeting gravity personally. These buildings could be cramped, noisy, and dangerous. Fires happened. Collapses happened. Neighbors happened. If you had money, life improved dramatically. If you did not, Rome was constantly asking, have you considered being wealthier? And class in Rome mattered a lot. Freedom mattered. Citizenship mattered. Your place in the system mattered. Randomly appearing from the future was not an officially recognized legal category. So could you just get a job? In theory, maybe? In practice, no documents, no contacts, and no language make that conversation very short. Rome ran on labor, trade, service, construction, transport, and slavery. It was a huge city with huge needs, but that does not mean it had a welcoming onboarding process. Also, if you look lost, someone may try to help you. Someone else may try to scam you. Ancient cities had both. Now let us reward ourselves with one of Rome's most famous institutions, the baths. This is either good news or extremely confusing news. Roman baths were not just for washing. They were social spaces, exercise spaces, relaxation spaces, and the ancient answer to, where is everyone hanging out? You would move through different rooms. Maybe exercise first, then warm rooms, hot rooms, cold baths. Very advanced. Also very public. And yes, there was oil involved. People often cleaned themselves by rubbing on oil and scraping it off with a strigil, which sounds luxurious until you picture the actual scraping part. Could you survive a Roman bath? Probably yes. Could you behave normally in one on your first day? Absolutely not. By now, you may be thinking, this is not so bad. There is food, infrastructure, baths, and a functioning city. That is adorable. Because surviving one day is not just about food and buildings. It is about disease, injury, crowding, and what happens when your modern immune system meets ancient urban reality. Rome had impressive engineering, but it was still an ancient city. Clean water existed through aqueducts and fountains, yet sanitation was uneven, and germs had absolutely no respect for architecture. If you cut your foot on something nasty, get sick from bad food, or catch the wrong infection, your odds get much worse very quickly. In the end, surviving ancient Rome for one day is less about heroism and more about tolerating confusion without licking the wrong object. And yes, if you were rich, connected, healthy, and lucky, your odds improved a lot. History, as usual, was easier with money. But for an average modern person dropped into the middle of the city with nothing, one day would feel long. Very, very long. So if anyone tells you they were born in the wrong historical era, send them to a Roman public toilet and let the conversation finish itself. Ancient Rome was brilliant, impressive, and deeply human. It was also loud, crowded, inconvenient, and occasionally a hygiene-based jump scare. And that is why surviving the ancient world was never really about looking cool in a tunic. It was about adaptation. And if you made it through your first day, then congratulations. Tomorrow you can begin the advanced course, figuring out how to pay rent in sandals. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe to Whyquire, and I'll see you next time.